Hey guys, welcome back for another video. So this is a test video, really. This is the first test video in my new shooting setup. Everything is brand new, both to help me work better and hopefully to give you guys a much better experience as well. And it's not done. This is going to be tweaked and added to and changed as we go along, but hopefully all the focus issues are now gone. Should have great audio, should have great even lighting. So we're going forward from here. So today, I was working on this last night and I wasn't planning to do a specific video on it. This is a Mumbai special, known for, well, if you search eBay, you're going to find tons of these Seiko watches and some other brands, but mostly Seiko, coming from Mumbai, India. And they're basically frankenwatches. They are cobbled together from all different parts. Some new, some used, some hand-created, as we'll see here shortly. But I wanted to practice on this because I'm going to be doing some mods to a new watch of mine that was supposed to be very similar to this. So it would help me learn and figure everything out ahead of time before, hitting up a good one. So I didn't care what happened to this, but this got pretty interesting pretty quickly. So I wanted to open it up and show you guys what I found. So I have been into this partially, and well, I'm going to show you what I found. So first of all, it had this basic Chinese bracelet. You know what? It's not terrible. I've had worse. Specifically from my brand new Seiko. That was actually a far worse, well, still is a far worse bracelet. I haven't swapped it out yet. I'm going to show you guys that. But this has got a decent polish on it. They are not the lightest that I've felt. I mean, they're certainly cheap. They're folded, they're stamped, they're hollow, but we've got micro adjustment and it clasps very nicely. There's no issue with actually using it as a dirt cheap bracelet. And it fit the watch well. It looked nice, but off it comes. So now we're left with this, and you might notice, hey, that date register is off. So are the hands. Well, actually they're not. It's the dial, and you'll see why in a minute here. So I saw this when I picked it up, and I was drawn to the dial. I didn't know it was a Mumbai special when I got it, but very quickly found out. But I'm attracted to the dial. The design is nice. I like the colors. I like the subtle stripes and different shading of red there. It's got the applied indices. It doesn't look terrible. It's, however, low quality if you get close up. Like the Japan made is partially covered by one of the glued on indices. The hands are a bit sloppy around the edges, and when I got it open, I noticed they were bent. The indices don't line up with the lume in all places, so the details are certainly not there to be expected of an AliExpress dial, and that's exactly what this is, and I found where you can buy it for pennies. But, I like the idea of the design. It looks nice. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now, before I get into it real quickly, this is an automatic watch, and it did run. It probably still does run. However, it's a very, very basic movement. It does not have hand winding. I didn't even know that such a thing existed. I figured hand winding was a basic requirement of any kind of non-battery operated watch, but no. This is automatic. It has a rotor, and to start it going, you got to shake it. You got to manually get the rotor going. Who would have thought? So there's no hand winding. You push this crown all the way in and it runs. One out to set the date and then another to set the time. And it is hacking, so it stops the second. That's cool. Not all watches have that. Okay, so I've got it stopped. It should be completely unwound. I let it run down, but it was running the first time a little bit when I opened it. I'm just going to take this open. I had it slightly loosened before, but it did come off the first time with the ball, no problem. I've only had to actually use my tool one time when I had a case back that was just super, super tight. Now, luckily, I didn't do any damage when I did so, but when I did it, I completely forgot to put down a sheet of plastic first, and I went direct metal to metal. It was one of my watches. It wasn't for anybody else, so it wouldn't have mattered if I did scratch it, but luckily it didn't jump or anything. But just those first timer mistakes using a new tool didn't even occur to me. I was all excited to use it. Not that I wanted to, but I had to because it was really locked on there. And it did the job. But once I get it kind of loose, I like to use the ball. All right, so that's that. And you know what? I usually have these on. May as well put them on because they do really help grip small little parts. It's not only for cleanliness. Speaking of cleanliness, you're going to see some dust and arm hair. Oh my God, you guys that have been doing this a while, how do you, maybe you don't have it, if you have gorilla arms like me, how do you stop all the arm hair? I mean, every time I do something here, after an hour, I've just got hair everywhere. But I have a tabletop HEPA filter coming, and I'm going to stick it right in the corner here of my desk. I got an ultra quiet one, so you shouldn't hear it at all. And hopefully that's going to really help with all the debris that is clearly visible to me now, working up this close, especially on this new work mat. You guys are only seeing a little tiny portion of it here, but there's just a ton of dust and all kinds of specks. So hopefully we're going to get out of that. So I opened it up here and I did research this movement. It's the basic 17 jewel Seiko movement from back in the day. And some had this rubber gasket, some didn't. It doesn't seem to be for water tightness. I mean, it seems like it should be, but not every watch, even normal new Seikos didn't have it. I haven't opened my new one yet to see if it does, but this has it. And then it has this spacer ring. So I pulled these out. Can't remember if I did the crown first or not, but we're going to get this out carefully. I have not yet done enough trial and error to figure out exactly which tweezers do exactly which job the best. So, I'm stumbling through everything. These videos for a long time are going to be just me learning stuff and doing stuff for fun. Not any kind of instructional or how-tos as far as the internals of a watch. So we can see the rotor there, and if we would shake that enough, give it several revolutions, it starts to run. I don't want it to run right now. I actually couldn't find, oh, you know why? I didn't take the full keyless apart. I was going to say I couldn't find the click, but I was thinking it was on this side for a second. It's not. So it would run. It does run. No problem. When you get a Mumbai special, this whole movement may be an all original assembly, as in it just came out of another watch, or they could have pieced together, which I think they did here because there's different levels of dirt and grit on different parts. They can just cobble a movement together from other moving parts from several different watches, So another thing I learned is on this particular watch, there's a little lever that you depress just to release a catch to slide the crown and stem out right there. And it's only visible with the crown pulled all the way out. The first time I opened it up, the crown was in. Oh, I don't want to start it running, but you push this in, the lever pops away. So I'm looking, I'm pressing this here, pressing that there. I'm looking for a set screw because other watches do it differently, but I knew this one had a lever and it just wasn't there. It was driving me crazy. So it was just coincidence. Finally, I pulled this out, I think just to get some room, and it went doink. There it is. I'm like, son of a, never saw that mentioned before. So if you've got one of these, that's the trick to finding the little lever. Now I don't know the best way. Well, maybe this is easier. The first time I did it, I put the crown and stem back in because I was just exploring. And then it was a real trick to push that down and pull this out because I didn't have anything to steady the movement. It was just loose up here. So I actually put it in my case holder. That was too big. And I tried my movement holders, which, by the way, I have to get a different one. I just got the cheap, I think it was like $5, basic Chinese set. This one barely holds it, this bigger size here. But that's how small I have to make it hold this movement. And then this one is too small. So there's got to be one in the middle. I doubt this is how you're supposed to put the movement holder. Maybe it is. I don't know. I only see the two different combo sets out there. So I don't know if there's a third. I don't know if the pricey one is a different size than both of those. No idea. But now I can just put some pressure on this. Push down that lever carefully. And out it comes. So there's the crown and stem. It's got a little O-ring on it. and it's nice and clean. And let's get our little tray ready here. Put that guy in there. Also still figuring out where I want to put stuff on the desk. I got the screwdrivers where I kind of naturally reach for them. Got the oilers where I naturally reach for them, that kind of stuff. But I got a lot of room on this desk. It's really neat. So I can put stuff wherever I want. But you can see all the schmutz over here in this part of the movement. And then the rotor's perfectly clean. This one's very clean. Balance assembly looks spotless. Parts under here, some dirt and some grease. So I think this is a cobbled together part. It works. I don't know how accurately. I do have a time graph for coming in just a couple days. And I actually have a couple videos in mind specifically to do with that. Not just timing watches, but using it as a tool for some videos. So I guess now we can pop it out and you're going to see what really threw me. So let's see, I guess the easiest way is to flip it like that. All right. So first, it didn't want to come out. Couldn't figure out why. It was kind of a tight fit, and I kind of had to use the tweezers to kind of even coax that out. But I got it out. So then, took the hands off. We'll do that. They were no problem. And then I flipped it over to loosen the dial screws. And I saw one here, and I saw one here. Thought, okay, that looks good. So I loosened them. I noticed they looked kind of funny. They didn't have a real clear-cut line. It looked like it was kind of butchered. Kind of hard to tell because I don't have a microscope. Just using my 2X readers, which is working fine for this level of detail. But I got them to turn, loosened them a little bit, dial would move. I mean, wouldn't budge at all. I'm thinking, man, am I turning the wrong screws? I had turned them a full turn out, which I know should have been more than enough, and it still wouldn't come out. Well, then I hit YouTube again, and I looked at some other videos, and I noticed something was different. This had another plastic ring. A little thinner than this one. It was all butchered up between the dial and the movement. And it was glued in place with like shoe goo. It was really tightly bound, but it was kind of stretchy and stringy. That's how the dial was on, not by these screws, because in fact, yeah, it's kind of hard to pick this up with, where do we have the thingy go? Oh, that's why. Ha! I don't have it on my thumb. Why did I do that? There we go. There are, in fact, no posts on the dial. It's flat. It's just another, I don't know, Chinese or Indian or both part. Totally flat, just, made somewhere cheaply. You can see all the printing mistakes. Like I said, I like the idea of the design. It's just very low quality as far as execution. But it was glued to a ring that was glued to the movement, kind of like this. And it was spacing it up like that. So that's what was stuck in the case, and that's why it wouldn't come off the movement. That's why when you saw it here in this video, it was off because it was freely spinning. I didn't glue another ring back on just to take it apart again. So boom, there we go. Now we got this. And now I can actually continue and do my practicing and do my further learning and take this down, which should be, knock on wood, standard. Here you can see some of the leftover glue I didn't get off. Should be a standard movement. Now that I know what's going on. But that's what you get with a Mumbai special. You never know what you're going to get. They should call it a Forrest Gump watch. You never know what you're going to get. Looks real pretty on the outside. But don't overpay for them if you are getting one. I mean, it's fine if you want to get one just because you think it looks pretty. It's probably going to run. Don't know how well, don't know how long, don't know how easy it is to fix it, but it could be absolutely anything inside. That's it. Stay tuned for more videos. Got a lot more stuff coming up. See ya.